There you go.
There it is.
There's a winner.
Back.
Look at that.
Back. Gone. We have a jam.
Showdown.
Yankees 12, Red Sox 11.
He's gone. He could go all the way.
No hay arquero. ¿Quién le pega? ¡Golazo!
Well, there's a long ball through, and
Oh my God, an insane goal! I've just seen the most insane goal I have ever seen on a football pitch. Incredible Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Fed on through, and here's Rust. Rust delays to Kobe. Walton can tip it. Bryant with the save.
Oh, you gotta get a shot here.
Final seconds. Bryant for the win. Bang!
Oh, go ahead. Do your little intro.
Do your little intro. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mo Crosby. We're back with another Earth2 Talk Sports with your boy Mo Weds, and I am Mo. Okay, let me just go ahead and put it out there now, because I don't know if this is. I was wrong. I was the goat head that picked had two. Not even just the one. You know what? Let's start with one. You know what? You just introduce the show, man. Tell us what we're talking about. I don't have the energy, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you right now.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us with Earth2 Sports Talk with Weds&Moe. And I'm trying to figure out if I should go with Weds or Mr. Right. I'm trying to decide. Like, again, you know what? We'll see what happens going forward.
It was, you know what?
Mr. Right sounds good right about now.
Hey, man.
What do you think?
Look, you called it. You called it. I had faith, and that's what having faith does for you. But
you had misplaced faith. Misplaced faith. That's what it is. You put your faith in the wrong team.
I want to throw up, like, bro. Like, I was so confident. I was really confident, and well, I'm here now telling you guys I was wrong. I'm gonna eat whatever Weds decides to throw at me. I'm gonna take it, because guess what? I opened my big mouth and I said what I said. So I got to stand on it.
A part of me wants to be the bigger person and say, you know what? I'm not gonna be petty and tell you how wrong you were.
No,
a part of me wants to say that I'm not going to tell you you should have picked you should have followed and listened to me. But I'm not a bigger person. I'm not. Right?
Wow, you should have listened to me. Jesus. That sucks.
Yeah. So let's just go ahead. Let's just go with that. No, but dude, the game last night. The game started. You know what? Let's introduce to the topic before we do anything else. So, recap of last night.
Right.
Celtics meltdown. That's what I'm gonna call it. Don't get me wrong. Warriors did their thing.
Oh,
they won. They did everything they were supposed to do.
Right.
Blew them out of the water like they were supposed to. But Celtics came up so small when it mattered the most. Let's start it. What was the biggest reason for the Celtics meltdown?
Had these bums sweeping confetti off in their house. Jason Tatum. That's it. Like, there's no, like, you can call out Coach Ime, but like, just like me, Coach Ime had misplaced faith in his superstar. So you can't blame him or fault him for that. So 100%, it's the superstar, because at the end of the day, coaches coach, players play. You are the guy. You are the guy, bro. And you text Kobe. you
bro,
the
internet is a ruthless place. It's a ruthless place, man. These people were saying, like, listen, when they saw that text, when they made the meme with the text say, oh yeah, say I got you today, bro. And had Kobe replied, don't ever text me again, bro. Like,
bro, like don't ever, bro, like lose my number. Like, nah, you text Kobe. So like I think once you do certain things, because this is reminiscent of when LeBron I think tweeted out 0-30 for the playoffs, and yeah, it's the same thing. You put yourself in the light. So any slander that comes or anything, as you are the main reason, because now everybody's gonna be looking at you. So now what that text do for you? Not a goddamn thing. You went out there last night in your home. Let's discuss. You went out there last night in your home and you played 40 minutes. You put up 13 points, 6 for 18 from for field goal, 1 for 4 from 3 points. You didn't even go to the free throw line, not one time. So you were 0 for 0. Do you understand that? You didn't challenge them. You didn't try. Like, you just decided to listen. I'm gonna say this. This is not a kid-friendly podcast, so I'll say this real quick. You laid down on your back with your legs in the air. So the biggest reason, like that's his stat line, bro. 40 minutes, 13 points, 6 for 8, 1 for 4 from 3, 0 for 0, like minus 2 rebounds, 3 rebounds, 7 assists. You okay? Fine. You're not scoring. Pass the ball. Then pass the ball 7 times, 7 assists. Okay, fine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're not passing the ball. What are you doing on defense? Rebounds? Oh no, that's fine. I'm not even gonna crash the boards. Do something, bro. Like, this is like that meme where the guys with the stick, like, click, like, do something, bro. You're useless. You're just a body. You took 40 minutes off.
Hold on. Don't forget 5 turnovers. Just wanted to put that out there also,
bro. Right, 5. Like, you are you took. I'm sorry. This is what happened with Draymond Green. I think in Game 3, right? Game 4, where they sat him. So some of the blame has to go to the coach as well. Excuse me. You sit him down. You sit your superstar down. Maybe that. Okay, you know what? Nah, not right now, bro. You can't sit me down. I'm the guy. I gotta put me back in the game. I'm ready. Sit him down. Let him refocus. Because it makes no fucking sense, bro. It doesn't. I don't understand. I can't, for the life of me, I can't understand. And I said it. I think I said it last time, last episode. For them to win, it has to be Jaylen Brown.
I mean, he did. He gave everything he had last night.
Everything.
I mean, the man gave you 34.
44 minutes. He played 4 more minutes than the star.
Mm-hmm.
He went 12 for 23. 5 for 11. So he was trying free throws, 5 for 6. So he was challenging them.
Yes.
Okay, he had 5 turnovers. He had 7 rebounds, 3 assists, but he gave you 34 points. You could not help him.
If Brown gave you 34, 7, and 3, with we're shooting over 50% from the field and shooting 45 from 3, 80%, 83% from free throw line. What more do you need from him? Because, according to you, he's 50, not,
Needed him to go for 50, I guess. Like,
I mean,
16 more points.
Except only one guy on that team was first team All NBA this season, and it wasn't Brown.
It was not him.
So if you're gonna be, first team, what? Let me start.
Go ahead, man, because I'm done. Like, I picked the wrong horse in the race, and
okay. The part of me that wants to play devil's advocate wants to tell you that Jason Tatum, or in fact, I have a friend of mine. He posted something. My boy Dre. He posted something on Facebook earlier where he was saying how, man, he posted a whole thing. I thought I sent it to you. He posted this whole thing about it's like, listen, like he played against the best defense in the league, even though Boston was the best defense in the league, according to the numbers. But he said, he was guarded by Wiggins, Clay, Draymond, Payton, and he would say, and when he come off a pick or to drop the lane, there's no mismatch to exploit. Those were his words, actually. There's no mismatch to exploit, or he does, even if you blow by Wiggins, he's hitting the wall with Draymond and Clay. He even had Looney come up on him and all this stuff like that, saying, he's still a super duper star. And Dre, I'm calling you out on this one. He's a super duper star. Respect to him. He will hit the summer training hard, and he's gonna come back better next season.
Nah, he's gonna come back way more light skinned next season. But you know what? Light skinned people do not deserve the slander. The slander goes to Jason Tatum. But go ahead.
But and you know what? And here's the thing. Normally, like, and that's the reason why I quote my boy on this one is because normally I agree with him on his basketball takes because he's a really smart guy and he knows basketball. Like I'm talking from playing, and organized teams to watching to like coaching. He knows basketball. But I couldn't disagree, I couldn't disagree more on this take because my thing is not because he's wrong about it, because I think he has some valid points in terms of he was defended pretty well. He did have a lot of guys coming at him. He was a lot of those things were true. But the thing is though, when it comes to slander that we don't have preferences.
No,
because till this day, we all hold 2011 finals against LeBron James.
Which you know what? I was thinking about that. It makes it like doing that, right? Discredits everything the Mavericks did to get there. Bro.
Yes.
Who did they beat to get to that final?
No, bro. They beat the Lakers, they beat OKC, they beat the Spurs. No, don't get me wrong. It was an incredible team that did incredible. But the thing is though, we hold it against LeBron. You know why? Because when you are a superstar at that level, when you come up short for any reason, we will slander you. That's how it works. That's how fans work. Exactly. That's how the media works. That's how it works. You know why? You know how I know this? I'm part of the people slandering. 2016 finals, we still hold that against Steph. Okay?
Oh yeah.
Every time Westbrook get a turnover, we hold it against him. Every time we shoot a brick, we hold it against him. So when it comes to slander, we don't take no prisoners, okay? Everybody can get it. Okay? My favorite player in the world was Kobe Bryant. And I'm telling you, he got plenty of slander coming from me.
Bruh.
So if I slander my favorite players in the world, if I slander all the guys I like, what makes you think I'm not going to slander Jason Tatum? Why would I not? I don't care how likable he may be. Everybody gets slander. And so I was saying though, when you are a superstar or approaching that level, you don't get to come up short and get excuses made for you. Okay? You are all NBA, and that's why I mentioned that earlier. You are all NBA first team this season, which means you are part of the top 5 best players in the world at that moment for that season. Top 5. If you are top 5 best player in the league, you don't get to average 21 in the finals and not get slander. You don't get to come up short in an elimination game with 13 points. By the way, 11 of those was in the first half, which you saw it out perfectly. You saw it out well. You saw that playing.
He did.
But somehow, when it mattered the most, you did nothing. I think he was 1 for 8.
Yes. In the half.
Yo, CP is all of like 6 feet tall at best. And we slender CP3 for blowing leads, for not be able to come up, he gets plenty of those.
Oh, he does. And he's
exactly
arguably one of the best point guards. Like, he's the point guard. So
what do you mean arguably? There's no argument here. He's top 5 best point guard they ever lived. There's no argument there. If somebody thinks otherwise, they're all wrong. It's not even up in opinion at this point. He's top 5 best point guard that ever lived. Like, he's easily the best floor general we've seen in the last 20 years.
Oh, that's a fact.
Last 20 years, we're talking 2002 to now, easily the best.
Oh yeah, 100% fact. 100% a fact.
Because before him it was Jason Kidd.
Yes.
So which means there's plenty of guys who get the slander, because they came up small. So now it's Tatum's turn.
Charles
gets all the slander there is.
Charles gets slandered by his colleagues.
Every chance they get. And it's all fun and games, but I'm pretty sure in his heart, a part of it, come on, it hurts. It hurts a little bit.
Because when Draymond says it, who the fuck are you, Draymond? Like, you are the luckiest player in the world, because Draymond anywhere else is not a starter.
He's a scrub. He's a scrub. Not just not a starter. He's a scrub. Because
you telling me you went 10, 11, and what? 10, 11, and 10 or 11, 10, and 10 yesterday, and somehow like
he almost had a triple double. I don't think he got a triple double last time. I think he almost got one last night. So yeah, Draymond got he was 12, 12, and 8.
Yeah, 12, 12, and 8. So he missed by 2.
He missed a triple double by 2 assists. Like and you know what's crazy though? After game 3, even his mother called him out. Even his mother was saying Draymond, like, yo, I don't know who this guy is, but that ain't my son. Like,
you know the worst part about all of this, right? You know the worst part about all of this. The worst part is, yes, Draymond got that right, but it's funny how we slandered him for his game. What, 3 and 4 was it? No, 2 and 3, right?
2 and 3, yeah, 2 and 3, yeah.
And he went and sat down and said, "I'm still record this podcast." And you're telling me, as Boston, you don't see that as disrespect? I promise you, I'm fighting you for if
what happened to that Celtic pride?
Fuck them. They only have it when Kyrie comes home. When Kyrie comes there, that's it. That's the only time they have pride is when Kyrie comes there and they want to be like. No, I think the only person they really have beef with is Kyrie. They don't have pride for anything else. Like if I am what's his name? Help me out. What's the white guy?
What team we talking about?
Boston. What's the white guy? The white guy. Help me out.
Who? Derek White?
No, the greatest power forward.
Larry Bird?
Larry Bird. If I'm Larry Bird, I'm never coming to any home games until these guys get it right. You remember when Kobe left, like took his kids and left the Laker game? That's what I would be doing if I'm Larry Bird, because what the fuck? No, honestly, it doesn't. I can't for the life of me think right to myself why, how. Like in game 4, I'm like, okay, they played away. You're not gonna get calls. You know, all of these things are against you. And, no, that was game 5. Game 4, you played at home.
Yeah, and Steph lit you up.
You needed that game, but the fact is, they were still very, very close in that game.
Yeah.
The next game, you hold this guy to 0 for 9 from again.
9.
Those stats are still crazy to me. Points. You let Clay score 25, that's fine, but you let Wiggins go for 20. You know the funniest thing, right? Clay is celebrating right now, but if you look at his numbers and his average for these finals, it's like this is the first time, right? I think it's going to be another one of our topics, but I'm just going to preempt this. It's the first time I think Steph has actually like had to do, you know, like, okay, shit, like I got to do this, you know, with everyone else, right, on the team.
Yeah,
I got to do this on my own a little bit, like, because okay, Clay comes back and you do have to pay attention to him, you know, the pick and rolls and all of that. You do have to pay attention to that. What's his name? Jordan Poole
Wiggins
is the ring. But that's the thing is they had most of these guys last year, right? When Steph was by himself. When he was playing and everyone was like, yo, he could get the MVP of the league because he's having to do everything back. You know, we're looking at Steph like transcend to a different level in the whole Steph Curry mythos, right? But the truth of the matter is he couldn't finish, right? Clay comes back and he adds back a wrinkle because now you have to start paying attention there. But Clay's not same Clay. Like the only person I think that can ever come back from an injury like that and be great is Adrian. The only person I've ever seen is still Adrian Peterson. I don't think anyone has come back from an injury and been that guy again.
KD came back pretty well. KD came back like MVP level KD, even though he missed some games later on in the season. But he came back like early in the season when KD came back.
Oh yeah, when he came back,
KD had like MVP 30 numbers. Like
he was dropping almost 30 a game. Like he was averaging like almost 30 a game. It was pretty solid.
Yeah,
but Adrian Peterson came back and won the running title that year. Like, that's different level of comeback.
That's different level of comeback. Yeah.
So Clay is still trying to work himself back. I think. You know what I'll say? I will let Steph beat me if I'm Boston, right? I will let Steph has to beat me. Like that's we got to look at everybody else that that hasn't been picking their load up. But because Steph is who Steph is, we got to key in on Steph. It's unfortunate. That's how you. But I would let Steph be the one to score 50, and now let's see what Jordan Poole does with great defense. Because now you got to pay attention to Jordan Poole. Let's see what Clay does. I think because of who Steph is, you have to pay more attention to him. And I think that's how and I honestly think that's how Boston lost. Because if outside of game 4 and game 5, Steph was really the only person.
Outside of game 5, you mean? Oh no, yeah, outside of game 5. Well, that's the only game.
Sorry, yeah, game 5 and last night. Steph was really the only person. Wiggins, that had those monster games, right? Back-to-back monster games, had 18 points last night, which is pretty solid. But he had 18 points.
Yeah. No, but okay. So in the series, they had both teams had 4 guys averaging double digits. What you call it? The Warriors had Steph averaging 31. I think everybody else was like, I think Clay was 18, Wiggins was 17, and Jordan Poole was 13.
Right.
And for Boston, I think it was like Tatum at 23. No, Brown at 23, Tatum at 21, Horford at 15, and I think Smart at 13.
Yeah.
And then Derek White at like almost 10 or something like that. So it's like, if you look at it, for the most part, it wasn't like some uneven matchup, or like one team was like having like it was just more like when it mattered most, one team executed and the other one did not.
And the other one did. Simple, because when it mattered most, Wiggins stepped up. When it mattered most, Jordan Poole would come in and drop 15 on you, a cool 15.
Yeah. And you know what? Even like randomly, like yesterday, I'm watching the game on 2 different like possessions. When Horford came back in third quarter, I think he had like 3 threes in that quarter. But even when he came back and hit those, what happened is he hit one on the other end. I think Steph made a play, or I forgot who made the play, and they found like Otto Porter in the corner. He hit a 3, responded, and then went down again, and then Horford hit another shot, and somebody else on the team like. So what happened is, especially with the Warriors, and then the reason why I don't agree with your take of like letting Steph be the one that beat you, is because when Steph is on, the rest of the team jumps on too. Like the rest of the team is like, oh wait, Steph is doing all this, we gotta help him. That's why even the game when he was off, in game 5 when he was like all the way off, like the rest of the team was like, yo,
the rest of the team.
So it's like I think
I 100% agree with that
Steph,
though.
Yeah. So that's what I'm like.
Because that's why I think that's why they. When I said Boston was gonna, when in my mind, right? Let me confess something to you. After game 4, I'd settled that the Celtics were gonna lose. Why? Because you go. It's you go. There's a chance you go up 3-1 and go back there. Yes, they beat you there, right? But then you come back home.
You come back home for game 6. Yeah.
Try your best to close it out. You probably can't. Then you go back and we could have had 7 games.
And you could also have the pressure on Warriors if you had pulled off that game 4. Yeah.
Yes. So once they lost that, I was like, "There's no way," because and it wasn't just once; it was the way they lost it. Steph going up for 40, meaning that now the rest of the team is like, "Yo, we're not about to let him do it by himself," which is why when he was dead in the water.
Yeah,
everybody, like you said, everybody else said, you know what, let's help our guy, which is amazing. But that's the game right there that when I say you let Steph beat you, that's the game where you key in on everybody he's missing, bro. Let him jack those shots up, attack everybody else. In my opinion, you go hard on you put 2 people on Wiggins if you have to. Wiggins is clear path to the paint a lot of the times. Like, why is Derek White on Wiggins, bro? Like, you understand what I'm saying? when Wiggins is running to the paint, have Williams just come stand here, bro. It changes the way he wants to make that shot. I promise you.
I've seen Robert Williams alter shot without actually jumping for a block.
Bro.
Wiggins last night went for a shot. He saw Robert Williams coming. He threw it all the way up on the top of the backboard. I'm like, damn, that's how you know, like, your shot blocking is elite. When before you even put your hand up, you're getting like, people are altering their shots because you're there. That presence is crazy. And somehow, nobody
have the best shot blocker in the game. Yo, I swear to God, in game 5, I would have let Steph, like, he's not scoring. I would let him literally keep shooting. Like, I don't care, because sometimes you need to see one go in, and then all the floodgates open.
Yeah.
Until that one goes in, he can jack up as many as he wants, because what happens is he gets in his own head when he starts missing. I got to get one. I got to get one.
Of course.
And now the basket starts shrinking. That's the thing. Once you start making him, the basket opens up.
And when you're missing them, the basket, shrinks.
The basket shrinks.
Shoot and shoot. So, so Steph would have been like, he would continue shooting. Sometimes you end up shooting yourself out of the game by doing that. And that, something, who does that a lot? Marcus Smart. At one point, Marcus Smart, that series against Miami, they almost lost it because Marcus Smart took 5 threes in the fourth quarter.
Unnecessary.
Like, ill-advised 3. It's like, dude,
unnecessary.
You are not that guy.
You're not that guy.
There's
so many not that guys on that team, and that's another reason they lost. It's because there's so many not that guys. Marcus Smart, play your game. Just be a defender and pass the ball when you can, bro. Stop jacking up threes. Stop trying to be a playmaker. Like, hero ball is not you, bro. Let it go. Jason Tatum.
But you see, Jason Tatum, not that guy. At least not yet. He got ways to go.
I think this was his chance to prove it. I don't think he'll ever be that guy, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm selling Jason Tatum.
I don't want to write him off yet, because this is what, year 5 for him.
He sold me out.
And I've seen the improvements in his game from the time he got in the league till now. He has improved his game in some ways. Because when he came in the league, for example,
pick him to win next year.
Pick who?
Pick Tatum to win next year.
Sir, I'm not high. What do you
okay,
pick
that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I've seen improvements. Listen, you know what's funny? You can say that about KD and be like, you know what? KD can come back and win next year. You can say that about LeBron. They adjust. Can you say that about Jason Tatum?
Okay, come on. We're not gonna compare KD and LeBron to Jason Tatum, bro. Come on, like.
I mean,
what are you doing to me here?
So which one of those guys did I mention as an All NBA player this year?
This year?
Yeah, this is All NBA.
What wasn't KD All NBA this year? Wait, no, he wasn't. Wait, was he?
Look it up.
I know. What you call it? I know.
LeBron definitely wasn't, because he didn't play enough games. LeBron was 13, right?
Yeah, I think LeBron was 13. Okay. First team All NBA this year was Luka, Booker, Tatum, Jokic, and Giannis. Okay. What's the second team?
Giannis. All of them lost, bruh. The second team.
Second team was Warriors. No, not the Warriors. It was Steph, Ja, DeRozan. What else was it? KD. KD was second team, and Embiid. That was second team. And third team was CP, Trae Young, LeBron, Siakam, and Karl Anthony Towns.
So first team All NBA player, you can't really say, you know what, you can come back next year. Listen, awards are shit. Awards are shit.
But we use awards to make whatever argument we want to we want to talk about. Because guess what? If we're talking winning awards, unfortunately, whether or not they matter or they're relevant, people are going to use awards for the argument.
Oh, of course.
Because so as far as it goes, does awards mean everything? No, because guess what? Westbrook won an MVP in the same season he got smacked out of the first round.
Charles Barkley is arguably a top 10 power forward.
Arguably,
I keep throwing that word out there, but
you keep saying arguably for all these things. Like, no, there's no argument for
I keep throwing that word. He is in the conversation, not won a championship.
Yes, he hasn't won. So he gets shade for that.
Yeah.
So he gets shade for that. So not winning championship. So which means what matters most? Winning, awards. It all varies.
Doesn't that kind of bring us to the second topic?
It does. Go ahead, introduce it.
Wardell, Stephen Curry. Is he officially in the top 10 conversation? Of course.
Yes.
Of course. That's an easy question. That's an easy question, easy answer. But there's a but for me. I don't know about you. The but for me is where though?
Are you asking me to answer that, or
I'm asking you? No, I mean, because we both agree that he's in the top 10 conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
For me, that doesn't matter really. Here's why. Here's why I say it doesn't matter. The reason why I say it doesn't matter because depending on
back season MVP, Finals MVP 2022, greatest shooter in the game.
Again, the reason why I say where doesn't matter because guess what? Depending on who's talking, depending on what category they want to use, they can have a different argument in terms of where he is or if he's even in there, right?
4-time NBA champion with the same team.
Oh no. Again, this is not for me. I'm telling you right now. For me, he's in the top 10. But the number anywhere between I'm gonna say 7 to 10, anywhere between that, I'll take it.
You know what? I can agree with you there.
Yeah.
7 and 10.
I don't know if I will put him in the top 5, top 6, in the top 10. But I will definitely tell you, somewhere in the back end between 7 to 10, wherever you put him, I'm okay with it. Because if I think about the top 10 without actually having a list written down, I will tell you, off the top of my head, there's the LeBrons of the world, the Kobe's, the Michaels of the world, like Magic, of course, so like I would have Kareem in there. So there's a bunch of guys I would tell you, like, listen, in the top 10, there's plenty of, of like the order, you could flip it however you see fit. But but Stephen Curry belongs in that list because there hasn't been too many players that has revolutionized the game the way he has.
Oh, yeah,
there hasn't been a way that's still. What happened?
He 100% changed it.
Bro, not only changed it, I'm talking like, he doesn't just change the way we play offense, he changes the way the people play defense. Like
Correct.
There are teams are now watching his his game to try to figure out like, do we have a guy that could do something close to that? Do we have a guy that could even like? He's like, you know what? We can't have 1 or 2 defenders that could guard him. We need to put a lineup of guys that can move around when they switch to get
break
on him.
Screens, run through screens, or like you gotta get a point guard who's strong enough to run through a jammer, and a jammer is Draymond Green.
So now we're talking about he changes the way you play offense, the way you play defense.
Right.
He changes the way people call fouls. Because if the way he shoots the ball, if you get too close to him, the way he shoots and the way because he's not a big guy, he's especially early on he was more on the frail side.
He drops.
He will shoot.
If he falls, like no, I don't want. I don't want to see that shit because when Steph starts doing this,
it's over. It's over.
Game over.
You got problems because at that
over,
point, and that's the thing. Like I was telling you, like you were saying that. When a shooter's making shots, the basket opens up. Mm-hmm. And the last guy you want making shots is Stephen Curry. Because the moment he makes one, all of a sudden, every shot looks possible.
Right.
So now, so when we talk about, like top 10, I mean, listen, if you talk to the Skip Baylesses of the world, they will tell you, oh, no, Steph is not top 10 because of, and he will pick like 3 random stats and be like, because of those reasons, he's not top 10.
And he would probably say Steph doesn't win 2 rings without a guy that should be in the top 10.
Yes.
He will in the top 10?
Who is who?
Is the guy who added 2 more rings to that dynasty? Is he in the top 10?
No. Based on what?
Wow.
Why should he be in the top 10?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Of course I know who you're talking about.
Are we talking about the same person? I'm not going to say the name because wow, that's interesting. But go ahead.
Of course, no, I don't think he's in the top 10. I put Steph ahead of him.
Whoa. Okay. Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
The greatest scorer that we're watching right now is not in the top 10.
I'm sorry. Greatest scorer based on what?
Okay. Anyways, this conversation about Steph. Let's bring it back.
Oh no. No. Yes, exactly. No, we're gonna keep the conversation on Steph, but I need to know your greatest scoring argument. What is that on? Like greatest scorer for what?
If he puts the ball down, he can create his own shot. He's one of the.
Cool.
He's one of the dudes that can create a shot. He can go to the basket.
He's a great shot
from outside. Huh?
Mm-hmm. He's a great shot creator. Absolutely, yes.
He can shoot from outside. He can go to the basket.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's virtually unstoppable.
Yet,
Oh,
his career average, same as LeBron, who we don't see as a scorer for some reason.
I mean, because
when I hear LeBron's not a
slash
scorer.
to the basket, LeBrick, this, that, you know.
Okay, but
how is
LeBron not a scorer when LeBron has the same career average as that guy?
Listen,
like in points,
it's Skip Bayless's fault. It's 100% Skip Bayless's fault, bro. Because like I don't like, that's an argument I will never understand. And people will argue that the reason LeBron has that career average is because he makes a lot of twos, and because when he started, he used to only shoot from like two. Like, bro, I seen that argument. I just mainly logged off because, like, I'm not. That's possible. It's a possibility for me to get into that and engage, but I'm like, no, I've grown up. I don't engage in LeBron arguments on the internet anymore.
I agree with you. Here's why. The game is called basketball. The goal of the game is to put the ball in the basket.
Bruh.
Whether you do that by 1, by 2, by 3, and eventually if they ever introduce a 4-point, whether you do it by 4. No matter how you do it, the point is to put the ball in the basket. And you're telling me LeBron, who put the ball in the basket at a very efficient rate for his entire career, is not considered a scorer because he didn't do it from 30 feet out?
I mean, he's about to get the scoring. He's about to have most points in the NBA. So now what? Then he's not. How would you say he's not a scorer at this point?
And this is why I'm not engaging in certain conversation with certain people. I'm not doing it. So because of that, so don't get me wrong. I will never discredit, and I know we're talking about KD. I'm not going to discredit KD as a great scorer. Arguably, like one of the best who ever played the game. However, what I'm going to say is we're not going to talk about, we're not going to talk about him in the top 10. We're not going to talk about him in the top 10 because he's such a great scorer without mentioning everything else. Because guess what? Steph is a great scorer. Everybody's in the top 10. You can say he's a great scorer amongst other things. How great is he defensively? How great is he? Like, there's so many more things to talk about. Also, he has 1 MVP, right?
2.
Does he have 2?
One season MVP or finals MVP?
Season MVP.
Oh yeah, 1. Does he have?
He has 1 season. Yeah, he has 1 season MVP.
Yeah.
He has 2 finals MVP.
Correct.
Also, in the team that won before him,
he has 2 rings and 2 finals MVP.
Okay, and he also joined the team that won before him and won after him.
You know what? That's right. Because any team, I will say this about LeBron. No team has won since he left. Say what you want to say about him putting a team together in a spot. Every time he's off that team or off the court, they don't know how to play basketball anymore.
Also, there's more reasons for that than just the fact that he's LeBron, because there's all the intangibles. There's the players that was traded to get him. Yeah. There's the fact that once he's in a team, he is the culture as opposed to the team culture. So there's plenty of more things to go around. But you're right. So that one we don't have to debate that. So if we go back to the original point,
he literally left Miami the same way, like maybe even better.
Yeah. So so again, no. I mean, Miami. When he left Miami on good terms. Like he left Miami. Miami, Miami still had like they had enough to recreate a team. From that point on. Yeah.
Oh well, you know what? Back to Wardell. So I agree with you. Top 10 easily, right? I think. Let me see. Shaq, Kobe, Bird,
Magic, Kareem, LeBron Jordan.
That's 7.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see. Do I have 2 more players that I can
ahead
find
of him?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see.
Here's 2 that people are gonna throw in there.
Right.
Wilt and Russell. People are gonna throw those in there because Wilt, his numbers are like when you think about NBA records. I'm not putting Oscar above Steph. No.
Okay, so if without actual order, number 10. I mean, we're saying if you throw those 2 people in there, right? Because again, it's kind of like a toss up with those 2 names that we threw in there. But
Yeah.
He's 7, 8, 8, 9, 10. I'll say 8, 9, 10.
I told you. Anywhere between those last 3-4 spots, I'm okay with where he's at.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me he's not in. He's
no,
not in
there's,
there.
there's no argument as to why he's not top 10. I'm not. But the thing is, I can't put him in the top 5.
No, I told you I don't have him in top 5 because again, I feel like there's so many guys that because like if I think of my top 5 off the top of my head right now, I have Jordan, LeBron, I have Kobe, I'm pretty sure I have Kareem in there. I don't have Russell in my top 5, so you have to crucify me if you want to. Let's see. I would probably put Magic ahead of Shaq. Yeah, I would probably put Magic ahead of Shaq. Like I think Shaq would probably be around my 6, around my 6 on that one. If I'm talking top 5.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So so for me, like I don't have him in the top 5, even top 6. But like I said, anywhere between 7 to 10, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So and if feel free to argue.
No. You get no argument from me.
Yeah.
Because again, you get that's the one thing outside. That's the one thing we agree on. What was your answer for the first? Why did they choke?
I thought I answered that. Why did they choke?
Yeah. Because I think we were just too busy slandering Jason Tatum we'd actually answer that. But why did they choke? Maybe you did answer that.
I think my reasoning for them choking per se, I think for them is inexperience. I'm gonna go inexperience, and I mean inexperience for both from the team and the coach, because I'm gonna go inexperience because when you watch the games, and I mean I watch every minute of every single one of that series, every single minute of that series, and when you watch the games, you see the difference between somebody who's been there and a team who's been there, a coach who's seen these things, and one who hasn't. Because it's almost like, for example, like I forgot. I think it was game 2. I think Steph got in foul trouble early. I think he got 2 fouls.
No. Yeah, it was.
I think it was game 2. He caught foul trouble early. Like, I think it was like maybe like in the first quarter. He had like 2 fouls within like the first like 3 minutes. And Steve Kerr looked at him. Steve Kerr looked at the game. Steve Kerr goes, no. He left him in the game. Like, he's like, whoa, like you risking your best player on the court with 2 fouls, and every time they do a pick and roll, they're going to attack him. And so much credit to him because he has improved defensively to the point where it's like, you know what? You can't just pick on me anymore. I'm not some great on-ball defender, but I can stand my ground. I could reach at the right time. I could force you to make a bad play. He has improved in that point. So, and Steve Kerr trusted in that moment that, you know what? He knows he has 2 fouls. He knows how important he is. He knows, so therefore I'm going to leave him in the game. And then I think like a couple of plays later, he hit a 3 and then another one. All of a sudden, it's like, you know what? The game became like, so then I think after that one, he didn't pick up another foul till like the 3rd quarter. Yeah. So when a coach, so between the coaching and the players, the connection and the trust in there, he understands that, you know what, with all the experience that we've had, with everything that we've been through, we understand that, you know what, even with those 2 fouls, he's still more important in the game than he is off the court. Because so I think especially early on, when Steph was off the court, the team was like struggling up until like game 5. When he was off the court, they were struggling to score. So that experience right there told you one thing. Tatum last night picked up 2 fouls immediately. Timeout. Ime, take him out. And I'm like, I'm not telling you, you should have left him in, especially when he's not producing.
He's a bum.
No. I'm saying I'm not saying like not take him out, because of that. Right. But I'm saying though, it shows you the difference between like one coach says this that is still my superstar and he's producing. So therefore, I'm gonna trust him to not pick up a 3rd in the first quarter, and
Correct.
he didn't.
Correct.
Meanwhile, Ime was like, you know what? I can't trust this guy. Not only is he not producing, I can't trust him with 2 fouls to not pick up another one unnecessarily. Marcus Smart, same thing. So it's like, if you look at it, the game, like the series came down to a series of like turnovers, foul trouble, and ill-advised shots. Like,
yes,
Marcus Smart and Tatum took so many ill-advised shots, and like shots are like, oh yeah, when in doubt, I just throw it up. Like, bro, not every shot is not every shot is so. If you ask me, it comes down to a couple of things. Inexperience. I think the coaching was not I mean, we're not gonna compare Ime's first year as a head coach to Steve Kerr's like 7th year or 8th year
Right.
as a head coach. We're not gonna compare that, but I'm gonna say between the inexperience of the players, the coach, I'm gonna say the moment almost seemed too big for Boston when they were not up. When they weren't up, outside of game 1, it seemed like when they're up, of course they could just run away with it. But when they're not up, to come back in the game, to make like good defensive plays, to make stops when necessary, they did not adjust as well as the Warriors did. The Warriors, on the other hand, every time they threw a body at you, then listen, it was respected. They threw Peyton in there, respected. At some point, Steve Kerr put Bielitsa in there. Everybody's like, yo, why is he on
Yeah,
on
he
the
put him
court?
in there. I think it was game 3 and
Game 3. Yeah, it was like, why is he in there?
I think it was game 4, and he like that's the best I've seen Bielitsa play, bro. From like,
so imagine having the level of trust and the confidence in like your 9th and 10th and 11th guy to put him in a game that is crucial. To put him in the game, at a time where it's like
like
the game. Of course, basketball is a game of run.
Like basketball was the end of it.
Yeah. So it's like basketball is a game of run. So it's like, you make a run, I make a run. That's how it goes. So it's like to put them in a game where, when you know that, especially in Boston team that could heat up so quickly. Like we're talking like at one point, I think in game 1, that team went on a run that was like unbelievable. I think the same thing. They tried the same thing in like game 4 or game 5. Like so the team can score the basketball, and they are talented from top to bottom. But the thing is, if you look at it, like it just seems like between the moments, like the decisions, like it all seemed like almost like the moment was too big for them. They just like we're talking like yo, they went up 2-1. They won 1 in Golden State, and then they won the first game back at home, 2-1, and you lost the last 3.
And that's when they won in Golden State, man. I think everyone was like, "This is it," because and they didn't just win in Golden State. It was an emphatic win.
They won convincingly in
it
Golden State.
It was an emphatic win that had everybody tonight. These guys.
So now you like all of a sudden you're like, whoa. And I know, like, listen, my Facebook feed was a joke. Everybody's like, man, there goes Steph choking again. There goes Steph not being able to get it done. There goes the Warriors, can't handle pressure.
I think they posted a meme, the Wolverine meme with where he's missing. Yeah, he's
missing KD.
Yeah, they put KD on there. Like,
bro.
Man,
like, so
I want to discuss that a little bit, though.
We're talking after one game, bro. After one game, the internet was ready to give to crown the Celtics champions.
It's again the way they won it. It's the way they won it, and how convincing they won it.
So you talk about you win game 1 like that, you lost game 2, on the road. Okay, you expected that, and then game 3 come back. You come back at home, win again. All of a sudden, it's like, yo, you up 2-1.
You blow them out at home.
Means,
game 3 was a blowout.
Yeah. So we're talking now. Listen, now you're talking like game 1, you won like convincingly, like had a hell of a fourth quarter, which is not easy to do. Game 3, convincingly at home, like smack them like, yo, we are not in the same bracket, and then you lost the next 3. The next 3 after being 2-1, you lost the next 3.
And they didn't even try to put up a fight at any point, bro. That's the weirdest thing. It's like, just really like, but I'm sorry. I love, that you're going coach in the moments. But I'm saying,
I'm going inexperienced coach moments.
That boy Jason Tatum dunked on LeBron and hasn't been the same since LeBron dunked back on him. But I don't give a shit. Like, no. And that entire team has not been the same since LeBron hit that layup to take and the one layup that took him to that beat him in game 7. Yes. So what are you saying? They've been in a finals. Granted, it's the Eastern Conference Finals. They know how it feels to lose. Are you telling me that they want to lose again? This is the team that took Miami all the way. They beat KD. They swept KD. They beat Milwaukee, right? Miami was the favorites. Matter of fact, Miami was number 1.
Number 1, no, it was number 1 seed in the East, yeah.
They beat them.
Yes.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear an experience. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear it because it's okay. If we go back to 2011, right, the one that we hold against LeBron, you're telling me if you beat the Spurs, you turn around and beat Kobe, and then you beat KD, right?
Yes.
Young up like, bruh. Dirk is what, season 17. It's the late.
At that point, I think it's like season 14 for him.
Yeah, it's late.
I think he came in like 98. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's late.
Career, yeah.
So he's old with JT,
yeah.
with and you come. So you come into Miami, and you do and you lose. So are you telling me we can't go back and look at what would that be, an experience? Because you've never been to the finals. I mean, outside of
hold on. At that point, LeBron had been to the finals,
and LeBron and Wade
had won a final. So
right.
They don't have the same
experience, right?
Yeah, they don't. But at the time, they didn't have the same inexperience though. Like they were more experienced because again, your two stars, they were like one of them again. Like Wade had won a finals and a finals MVP. LeBron had been to the finals and was constantly like this close, to it. And again, we are talking about LeBron James. By 2011, he had 2 MVPs. He had don't get me wrong. At that point, he was not on the level that Tatum and Brown is at. And also, we're talking. Listen,
you beat the Finals MVP. You beat the 2020, right? You beat 2020's Finals runner-up.
Yeah.
Right? Because they were hungry to go back. Miami was hungry to go back.
Yeah.
Right? They've tasted it.
Yeah.
And you turned around, like you beat the Eastern Conference finalists from the year before. So you didn't just beat scrubs.
Yes.
You didn't just beat nobody, because again, if you're saying inexperience, then you're discounting the run up to the finals.
I say
if you say coaching, you're discount because again, the same coaching that got them through. Because which one did they go 7 games? Miami, right?
Yeah, Miami 7 games. They went to 7 games, Milwaukee in Miami.
Right. So if you say coaching, you're discounting the coaching that got them through those 2 game 7s.
Okay. When I say I'm not discounting what like who they beat. When I say inexperience, I mean I'm talking like yo. And I'm talking about and I mentioned it, the adjustments that was made, that the coaches made, decisions that was made, small decisions that seem small in the moment. It seemed like, okay, leave a guy in, take a guy out, putting this guy in. Like decisions that seem small, it made a bigger impact. Because again, for a coach like Steve Kerr to trust a guy like Bielsa, to trust Otto Porter, to start Otto Porter, in a couple of games, like to bench Draymond in a game where he was struggling. We're like, you know what, we're gonna bench Draymond, even though like for a lot, for that team, Draymond had been the guy, like the intensity, the defensive play. To bench like a guy like Draymond, to make those decisions, it takes a coach who trusts his team, who's been with the team long enough to see the ups, the downs, the winnings, the losing, who's seen enough to say that, you know what, I can trust that decision and willing to live with it. But Ime, on the other hand, he wasn't willing to take the same risk. When Tatum was struggling, he basically tell him, "Don't worry, you'll get it, keep going." So he didn't have the same trust in his team, even though, again, up until that point they had played extremely well. But also, I'm gonna say it's easier to play when you're winning, or it's easier to coach well, or to look at a great coach when you're winning, or when things are going well, versus like when you have to figure out crazy adjustments. Like you have to figure out, because I don't think anybody planned on Andrew Wiggins clamping down Jason Tatum. I don't think anybody planned on that. So that was a punch in the face that I think last episode, as we were talking, I realized that in the conversation we mentioned punching somebody in the face multiple times. Mm-hmm. We mentioned the lightning, Avalanche needs to punch lightning in the face. We mentioned somebody needs to come out and swing on step. We mentioned that because and I think I forgot who said it. He was saying listen, everybody got a plan until you get punched in the face.
Yeah. And
I think that was Boston. Boston had a plan. They were playing well. When things are going well, it looks great. But then the moment you get that hit, it's like, damn, I swing. I'm trying to swing back, but
in Game 5 when Jordan Poole hit that 3.
Bro,
No, I promise you, if you looked, because again they zoomed in to like if you looked at body language, it was very telling. It was very telling. Once he hit that three, because they were like, okay, we're gonna work with
quarter.
Right.
A phenomenal third quarter where it's like, damn, we finally came back after being down 12. They were down 12, and then and they came back, they took the lead, and then he's like, okay, finally we win the third quarter against the Warriors. Like, this is amazing. So he's like, and then all of a sudden, like 2 seconds left on the clock, Wiggins, caught a rebound, took the ball, throw it to Jordan Poole, who took like a run jump, like, and he baked out in. The team's like, damn, like you could see like their face was just like,
to be honest, that's when they lost, bro. That's when they lost.
So it's like,
at that point. So yeah, you do need a coach that can be like, yo, okay, he made it. So what? Next, like
exactly. But at that point, like you could see, like, listen, and things are like, and that's the thing with like when you play with certain teams, like the body language of the coach's body language, your superstar's body language can make a difference to other players. Because if you for example, right, if you're a team like Celtics, and if you're Grant Williams, for example, you're Grant Williams, or you're Pritchard, and you watch Jason Tatum get punched in the mouth, like every time he drops to the basket, he gets knocked down. Every time he does something, it's a block, it's a steal, it's a turnover. When you come in that game, your confidence is not the same as it would be if your star was performing at a high level. That's why when Steph cooked the Celtics for the first 4 games. In game 5, when he was struggling, the rest of the team was like, "Oh no, it's okay. We'll pick up the slack because we know what he's been doing." But when your star's not performing, and your right adjustments not being made, stuff like that, you can see why for the body language for the other team, the mentality for the other team, for the rest of the guys, you can see why they struggle, because it's like, listen, momentum plays a big part. Watching when Jordan Poole come in the game after Steph hit 2 threes, Jordan Poole's like, "Oh yeah, I can hit threes too." He doesn't hit one. Hit a second one. He's feeling great. Like, he's like, "Oh yeah," So it makes a difference.
So real quick, let me. So you read me a friend's comment, right? Post.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one of the wildest takes I've seen with all this, right? Someone said the way the Warriors won this, right? That if LeBron was on this Celtics team, this current Celtics team as is, 37 LeBron, this age LeBron, with how he played this season until the injury, until he said, I don't feel like playing no more. They said if he was on this current Celtics team, that the Warriors still would have won. How do you feel about that? Oh God, come on! No words, nothing?
Bro. I know we joke a lot about a lot of things, but come on, son. Like, what?
No,
why?
The person meant it too.
Sir, listen, and a crackhead means everything they say. It doesn't mean they're right, bro. Son, okay. Here's the thing, right? People are discounting the fact that if you look at what do you call it?
That's fucking nuts, Patrick. That's nuts,
bro.
Shit.
It is nuts, bro. If you look at the Celtics, right? You look at the team. It looked like they lacked a couple of things. They lack confidence at times. They lack a good playmaker at times, and they lack IQ. They lack IQ most of the series. Like, they had terrible IQ. Like, if you watch the plays they make, so many times these guys would they'll see a play like, "Oh, there's this much gap. Let me run in there." It's like, whoa, the team can close out. And then all of a sudden Jason running there. He put the ball in front of him like he always does, and throws it up in the air. Turnover.
I think what they really lacked was leadership, because not one, with the exception of Jaylen Brown in Game 1 and Game 3 and last night, not one person said, "Hey, we crack up, we laugh about Draymond, 2 or whatever his crackhead stats could be, right?"
Yeah,
but I feel like Draymond Green will yell at you, bro. Like, he could be having the worst game ever, but he will talk like, "Yo, Clay,
bro,
do something, bro." Like,
Draymond yelled at Kevin Durant.
he left.
Like,
he left. He's like, "Nah, you're not finna talk to me like that." I'm KD. Like,
imagine you're Kevin Durant and you get yelled at by Draymond Green. Like, so
yeah, I'm definitely leaving too.
So you see, like, and okay, so every single one of those things that we mentioned that the Celtics lack, LeBron make up for all of it.
All of it, easy.
If we're talking IQ, yes. I mean, that guy's easily one of the best, like the smartest basketball player we've ever seen in terms of like like how he sees the floor. He can listen. That makes him predict plays before they happen based on like how you're walking. So like we're talking IQ, we're talking leadership, we're talking like a pure force that puts fear in your heart. Because we spoke about it last episode where it's like that man had some people's hearts in his like in jars at his house.
Bronco.
Like
Bronco, bro.
like bro, listen, if you look at LeBron's like trophy case at home, he got the finals, he got the MVPs, the finals MVPs, the all NBAs, and he got a bunch of people's hearts like lined up in jars right there too. Like so
Definitely every player on this Boston Celtics team for a fact, including one
everybody
of the boys.
Everybody in Toronto until
everybody in
Kawhi got there. Everybody in everybody in
Paul
Atlanta
Pierce.
for years. Paul Pierce. Like he got plenty of hearts and hanging in his house. So with that being said, like you can't tell me if somebody had the nerve to say like, oh yeah, if even if LeBron Celtics had LeBron, they still would have lost. That is by far.
You don't watch basketball.
One of the dumbest takes I've ever heard.
Wow.
And mind you, I've heard Skip Bayless and Stephen A. talk for years. So, and they've had plenty of ridiculous takes. So, which means, come on, that doesn't make any sense. And on this Celtics team, had LeBron.
No, that's what I had to ask. I was like, on this team, on this current.
Are they taking away 3-4 guys because he can make up for 3-4 guys, depending on who they are.
Yeah, Derek. You take off Derek White. You take off Pritchard. Take off not Robert Williams, Grant Williams, and add LeBron.
You can take off Tatum and add LeBron. It still would have been the same thing. Like
don't do that boy like that. He had a bad series. Don't do him like that. You know what? Let's stop talking about basketball real quick. Let's talk about the other finals game that came on that I was wrong about. Stanley Cup Game 1, another one I picked, and I was wrong. But you know what? I'm still going to ride out with the Lightning all the way, and I'm taking that because you give me back-to-back champions. It means something, bro. I don't care how you feel. Back-to-back champions mean something.
It does.
They still have the better goalie. What happened was they had no offense to match, right? Because they scored, but then they couldn't score in overtime.
Yeah,
everything is still there. They are still the better team. Everything is still there for them. Yeah. What happened in game 1? What happened in game? We're almost about to be forced to talk basketball. If you any team that's ever made the finals without LeBron and add LeBron to that squad, they win. If you take LeBron off that team, they final. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. That is the truth. That is the truth. I mean, we talked about it earlier.
Come on, like I don't understand. Like the fact that somebody had the nerve to say that and truly mean it.
No, and I was very surprised. It could have been a joke, but
you know what? If it's a joke, haha, I agree. I can laugh at it.
I'm not saying it is. I said it could have been. I don't know if it was.
If it's a joke, haha, okay, I can laugh. If they were serious, I want to know who their plug is, who's their connect, what are they getting? Because I want some of that too.
No, but yeah, so I'm still gonna ride with the Lightning all the way through, only because, like I said, you don't look, as you said, they have the experience of being there twice. I'm gonna ride with the experience on this one, and I'm gonna take it all the way. What happened in game 1 is an Avalanche team that you said had to come out and be aggressive from jump. You called that,
yeah,
and they did that. They came out aggressive. They came out like, we are home, or we are at home. We're going to show you that you can't come in our house and try to punch us in the mouth. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
But Lightning, we've been here before. We can take an L. We can take one L. I'm saying they went out the rest of it.
Yeah. You know what, though? I'm going to tell you right now. Like, when I was watching the game,
you text. Okay.
Yeah, watching the game, and I saw, and then Avalanche came out, like off the bat, they came out 3-1. I was like, oh shit,
bro.
And that's what I texted you. I was like, remember what I told you that Avalanche had to come out and punch him in the mouth right away? Like I had to text you that because I'm like, yo, and they did exactly that, and they came out. But the part where you were right was the fact that the Lightning has been here before. the Lightning knows what they're doing. They understand this. They understand that we have the more firepower, even though it didn't show early on. We have the better goal, even though it didn't show early on. They came out and showed you that, yeah, it's okay. We can take a hit, but we're going to swing back. And then when they tied the game, I was like, shit, okay. Maybe Lightning is, not that maybe they're real, because, again, back-to-back champion, you can't discount that. But at that point, I was like, damn, Avalanche might be in trouble. But then they pulled that off. So I was like, okay. So which means that shows me two things. One, Lightning are back-to-back champion, and you can't take away that experience, and they're not going down without a fight.
Right.
But on the flip side, I think it solidified my take with Avalanche saying, listen, you can throw a hit, but we can also take one. Because when Lightning came back, at that point, Avalanche could have easily been like, damn, like, we threw everything we had at them early on, and we even had a 2-point lead. Like, they shouldn't have come back, but they did. And Avalanche was like, you know what? It's okay. They can come back. We can too. And that's when, when they won in overtime, it's like, okay. It's like, all right. So it shows me.
No, I'm saying that was a very impressive win. I'll give them their props. I 100%. Yeah. Again, for the way they came out and played, scored quick goals and played great defense.
Yeah.
You can't keep a good team down. Yes, Boston came out in game 1 and beat, Steph. But again, if I'm gonna use, I'm like, you can't keep a great, really, really good team down.
No, I agree, and that's why I was saying I agree with you, because like when Avalanche came out and I saw how they were scoring, and even how they were playing, they were very physical early on. They were attacking. They weren't sitting back like, all right, let's see how the game flow goes. No, they're like, yo, we're gonna attack.
They took it to them. Yeah.
We're gonna keep pressure on them and make them and force them to defend us. We're gonna force them to do that. And so when they came out and did that, it's like, okay. So I'm like, I see the fighting spirit in this team. I see, that they're not willing to just go down without a fight. And then even when Lightning came back, scored the 2 goals, and then they tied the game. Even at that point, it's like, okay. Now at that point, it could have been like, they could have like lost that momentum and then give it up to Lightning and be like, you know what? All right, you're clearly the better team or the more experienced team, and they could have done that, but instead they dug a little bit deeper and find something else, and to elevate them. So which means I'm hoping for a 7-game series in this one. I really am.
Oh, a 7-game series is going to be fun. A 7-game series.
I'm loving it so far.
I don't
because
see
of
it.
that. I'm like, because I'm loving it so far. I'm like, okay, I want to see this. I want to see this for next, I want to see like 7 games of that.
Right.
7. I want to see 6 more games of
this
like
game ends on Sunday. This is what I'm gonna say. Lightning are gonna come back. It was Saturday, my bad. Lightning are gonna come back and they're gonna beat them. And they're gonna beat them handily, right? I'm gonna call it out now. I'm picking game 2, and I'm going with the Lightning all the way through, right? They're gonna beat them handily, right? They're gonna beat them. It's gonna be bad. Okay, maybe not bad, but they're gonna beat the shit out of them. And then, because of that beat, I don't think the Avalanche will have what it takes to, they don't have the heart to be like, oh man, we lost, we can come back. I think they're gonna be down.
You know what I think?
What?
I'm going to agree that Lightning's going to win game 2. I'm going to agree with that, because again, they're not going to want to go down. They're not going to want to go down, down 2 games against a team that's been, that clearly is not afraid of them.
Clearly, and I love the disrespect of the fans, bro.
Exactly. So I'm like, so I think they're going to win game 2. But I think what's going to happen is, Avalanche at that point is going to say, you know what, like. They have shown that the championship spirit, the grit. They show that that they can take a hit and come right back. But I think at this point on, we have proven that we are not underdogs. We are not afraid of you. We could do the things that you can do, and I think that's when like that pivotal game 3 is gonna come in, and both teams gonna come out swinging. It's gonna come out like, you know what? We're not we can't afford to give momentum to any one team. And I think, at that point, I don't know if Avalanche is gonna say, oh yeah, absolutely, they're the better team after losing game 2. Because I think they're gonna lose game 2, but I don't know if they're gonna just take it and completely give up because they lost game 2. Because they're fully expecting Lightning to come back game 2.
Oh yeah.
Which means if you're Avalanche, You come back, you should have an even better start than you had for game one, and say, listen, at this point, we're gonna treat this game two like it's our elimination game, like Boston should have done yesterday.
Wow.
Like, I think we should treat it like our elimination game, because if we go up 2-0, it's gonna be hard for any team to beat us 4 out of 5 games. Especially, we're talking like,
You know what? I kind of agree. Kind of. But I don't want to see 7 games for football, man. I think the one and done is okay.
No, don't get me wrong. I like the one and done. I like the one and done because I need every team to come out and understand that every play matters, every decision matters. I need you to understand that because a lot of times guys will take a play off or will relax a little bit, take their foot off the gas because they're like, we could always come back, we could always do this. Let's let this one go. You can't do that in football. So I think I agree. Like the one and done, let's keep it at that one.
No, because you remember what was it, Dallas last year when Dak Prescott forgot that oh my God, what a fucking idiot. Like he did that dumb shit he did. Yeah, if that was a game one, you can do that. And I think if you give Dallas 3 games against San Francisco, they win it.
I'm sorry. Are we still talking about the Dallas Cowboys?
Okay, no, let's sorry. So back to hockey.
Because you're not gonna sit here and tell me that. If they had given them another chance, it's still the Cowboys, bro.
It's still the Cowboys.
It's still the Cowboys. There's a few things. Listen, there's a few things in life we count on. Okay, death, taxes. I'm going to slander Dallas Cowboys, and I'm going to slander Florida. You can count on those off the bat. That's always gonna happen.
Okay.
So
you're picking the Lightnings, even though they're from Tampa Bay. Just
no, I'm picking against them. I'm picking Avalanche. Remember, I picked Avalanche.
You're picking Avalanche to win this.
To win the series. To win the series. To win the final. I'm picking Lightning to win game 2 because again, I do think that because they've shown that they shouldn't they're not afraid to be down a couple of goals. They can handle it. And also again, back-to-back champions. You can't just take that away from them because Lakers over game 1 where they barely lost because again, so I'm not gonna take that away from them. So I'm telling you, they're gonna win game 2. But I do think Avalanche on the other hand, because they've been hunting for the Lightning, because you know what? Here's what it is. I think Avalanche lose game 2, and you say even if they lose convincingly, Lightning come out and show that we are the better team. I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna go back to Lightning's Twitter page. Look at the look at that picture again. Look at the flag fight again. And say, okay,
let me pull that up.
We got some for you. Like
brazen. That is hella brazen.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm telling you, like I think listen, Avalanche is gonna come out. They might lose game 2. I think I'm picking them to lose game 2. Although I'm hoping they don't, but I'm picking them to lose game 2. But I do think they gotta go home Sunday. They gotta go home, or they're gonna go home after the game. They're gonna check their Twitter page, see that picture, and says,
I'm pulling it up for you, man. 2022.
Yeah.
Champions.
See, again. See,
like
if I'm
this
Avalanche,
is disrespectful. I don't care. I don't care. It's very disrespectful.
If I'm Avalanche, I keep that picture. I keep that picture in locker room. Every player, the players don't get their names or they don't get their names on locker anymore. Everybody get the same picture on their locker. You all have to stare at this. You want to know why you need to fight. You want to know why? It's because of this. Okay. The same reason, same way. Like what you call it? I forgot. Like there was like a Boston fan that tatted Boston.
Oh man.
Tattoo
gonna hurt.
Champion 20. Boston Celtics champion 2022. I'm like, yeah. Now you can listen. I'm like, now you're gonna have to sit there and change that to that 2. The last 2 to a 3. Hoping it happens next year and change it to a 4.
Yeah,
by the time you're done, like you're gonna sit here like maybe in the year 3000 we'll win one, like because clearly so certain things I feel like are good motivation, and I think that picture should be good motivation for Avalanche. So
it is.
I'm picking them to lose game 2, but I think they win the series. I'm still going 7 games. But I think they win game 7, on their home floor.
I'm going 5. I'm going 5.
So you think Lightning wins from this point out?
Yes, I think they win it out. I think they win. But this is true. This is very true. Any Boston sports, for real, they're all dumb. baseball, football, fucking football.
That's disrespectful. Like Boston fans is the smartest.
Is it though? Aisha can't cook, really? Okay, all right. Let me just throw that out there for you.
Okay, I will say they're disrespectful. I don't know if they're not smart. I think they're just
they're not smart. They're just as not smart as their point guard. So I was saying, yes.
I got nothing. You win.
They go 4 games straight, and there's a reason I'm saying that, because I don't think the Lightning want to lose another game, because then you're not invincible anymore. So you lost this game, it shows a little bit of a chink in your armor, right?
Yeah.
You win game 2, fine. You win game 3, you get your respect back, and they look at you different now. Because you lose another game, they start looking at you like you're beatable. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. You're the better team. Put your foot on their neck and keep it there and keep it going. They win 4 games.
Okay. Yeah. I'm.
Look.
Yeah.
We've had an interesting amount of topics today. Steph is top 10. We figured out that it's not in the 5, it's not 6, it's between 7 and 10.
Yeah.
I say Jason Tatum. You said coaching and everything.
Don't get me wrong. Jason Tatum get plenty of blame too. I just, I agree that,
the most blame, in my opinion. You're not the superstar. Yeah. You're not the superstar, and you let granted, Kobe has had bad games where people have to bail him out. Steph had a bad game the other night. People have to bail him out. But you don't have. He had a horrible series. Yes. Yeah. So, you can have bad games. You can have a horrible series.
Yeah, but you can have a bad series. Yeah.
So
we can agree on that.
Yes. And the Stanley Cup final game 1, we did the recap. I was wrong again, but I am not wrong about who's winning this and when they're winning it. Just watch.
You're wrong about that 5. You're wrong about that 5 game, but you know what? It's okay. We're gonna be talking some more.
That's what I'm saying. We're gonna be doing this for a while. So we're
gonna be doing this for a while. So
this is gonna be the first guarantee on the show. I guarantee you. It's my turn. It's my turn.
The Charles Barkley guarantee. I
guarantee. I'm calling it now. I'm guarantee you 5 games. It's over. It's over.
5 games?
Yes.
Well, you know what? You've been wrong before. It's okay. You'll be wrong again.
You know what? That's the end of the show. Thank you. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we will catch you on the next show. Peace.
Play ball. There you go. There it is. There's a winner. Look at that.
Back. Gone. We have a chance.
Showdown.
Yankees 12, Red Sox 11. He's gone. He couldn't go all the way.
No hay arquero. ¿Quién le pega? ¡Golazo!
Well, there's a long ball through, and
Oh my God, an insane goal! I've just seen the most insane goal I have ever seen on a football pitch. Incredible Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Been on through, and here's Rust. Rust delays to Kobe.
Walton can tip it. Bryant with the save.
Oh, you gotta get a shot here.
Final seconds. Bryant for the win. Bang!
Oh, go ahead. Do you little